This is Power BI desktop table view, and this is the data. As you can see, we have various columns: customer ID, age, gender, item purchased, category, purchase amount, location, etc. And in this video, I will try to create a few measures and create a report page. This will be easy in case if you are trying to start your journey by learning Power BI, and if you're a beginner, it's always a good idea to work on these kind of data sets and try to create simple measures and create a report page. Thereby, it will be a good practice for you to work on DAX and create these simple measures. Let us try to look at the report page. Let me see. Prior to that, let me just drag this note here. And we will try to create these measures, right? We will try to create these simple measures: total transactions, total revenue, revenue previous month, subscription rate, promo sales percentage, month-over-month revenue growth, average rating, average order value. So these are pretty simple and pretty useful measures. So let me just go ahead and show you. I've already written those measures. So let me show you those measures right now. And this is the first measure, total transactions. I'm using the COUNTROWS function. As you can see, COUNTROWS counts the number of rows in a table. I have passed the table there, and in case needed, I can format that. And this is the second measure, which is total revenue. I'm using SUM function, and this function will add all the numbers in a column. And I passed the purchase amount column here, and I've made the format changes there, currency and the comma separator. And there is another measure, which is subscription rate. And I'm using divide function, which expects numerator, denominator, and alternate result. So I'm using calculate function here, as you can see here. And for the numerator, we have this calculate function, whatever which is there in that will be the numerator. And for the calculate function, the expression will be total transactions. And this is a filter condition if the subscription status is S, and I want those values there. So this is the numerator, and the total transactions is the denominator for the divide function. And I can change that to a format to percentage as shown here. And the next measure is revenue previous month. So I'm using a calculate function. This is the expression, total revenue. And I'm using a date add function, which expects 3 parameters at least: dates, number of intervals, and interval. As shown here, this is the date column. And I'm going previous month, so -1. And the interval is month. So this would be the date add function, the parameters for that. And I can format it. And this is the measure which is ready for me. And this is a promo sales percentage. Again, I'm using a divide function. This will be the numerator. And for the calculate function, this is the expression. And this is the filter condition. If the promo code used is equal to S, I want those values, right? So that is the numerator, and this is the denominator. And I can change the format to percentage as well. There are a couple of measures. Let me see. This is the month-over-month revenue growth percentage. And I'm using a divide function again. Total revenue minus revenue previous month. And the denominator for that would be revenue previous month. And this would give me the month-over-month revenue growth percentage formatting. And there is average rating. I'm using average function. Average function returns the average, the mean of all the numbers in a column. This is the review rating column. I've passed to it. I get my average rating. And in case if needed, I can change the formatting to maybe decimal. And I can use maybe 2 decimal places. I don't need comma, but in case if you want, you can add that too. So, and the final measure is average order value, AOV, and which again, I'm using a divide function. The numerator will be total revenue, and the denominator will be total transactions. This way, I'll get the average order value. So these are the pretty simple measures, and these KPI and measures are pretty useful in day-to-day jobs. So let me just go ahead and drag maybe the card visual. I'm trying to keep it simple so that anyone who just started their journey in Power BI could watch this video and try to create these simple measures and use their own data and tweak it accordingly. And if I add all those measures to this card visual, I can change the formatting too. Let me just unlock the objects here. So once I do that, and I can change the formatting. For example, if I select this particular visual, which is a card visual, go to format section, I can change the multi-card layout. I can select this particular card, for example. And if I want, instead of the summarized 11K, if I want the total value, I can change that. I can change the background color as well. And for example, if the call out, I will select this particular measure. I can go to say value. and let me just change the display units to none. That way I have the 10,745 total transactions. So I can do all those things and play around in case if you're working in this kind of data sets, create these particular visuals and play around and make all the changes based on your needs, formatting changes, etc. So what I've done is I've already created a page. So to save time, I've created the page. I can show you those visuals in a bit, and you can change the shape and etc. So like I said, based on your needs, you can change all this, make all the changes to the layout and also the shape, etc. And let me show you that final page. This is the final page. I've added a particular slicer here. You can use any other fields which you have in your dataset. I've added item purchased, and I've used the tile option. And this is the first, and this is the second, and this is the third. 3 different card visuals. So I have separated them so that visually also it looks appealing. And in case if you want, you can change the selection to single select or multi-select, and you can add the slicer header. You can show summary. So in case if you toggle that button, you can see in case if you make any selections on the slicer, that particular item will be visible on the top header. And for example, in case if you are trying to show this in a presentation, you want to lock the object so that you don't want to display those objects, right? You can use that by going to the view tab and locking them. So for example, if I select backpack, all the visuals are changing. Obviously, in a simple method, we have created key measures and also created a report page. So that way it's pretty easy for us to understand the DAX code behind those measures. And it's also the simplicity of drag and drop of the visuals in Power BI is pretty helpful in case if you have started your journey. These kind of small projects will help you to build confidence, and also you'll get to practice DAX and try to understand the functions which are available. So this is pretty cool, I guess, and I can make all the changes. I can drag any other field. For example, I've used item purchased. I can use the gender or the columns which are available. So this is hopefully this will be helpful to you in your data. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.